That's right. Hey, Dan Shinder here. It says right there, or right there. And David Seymour. David Seymour. If you don't know, David Seymour has submitted videos for almost every single drumming tribute challenge we've done in the Drum Talk TV Brilliance.com membership site for like the last year. And he won a spot here with me on Drum Talk TV for being part of our focus group to give feedback on what the we're doing. David,
Yeah,
welcome. How are you, brother?
I am doing great. Thank you, Danny and Steven, for having me on board tonight with Drum Talk Television.
You know what? I gotta ask you. The first thing is you have a crazy, I mean that in a loving way. You have a crazy drum and percussion setup. And
Thank
I
you.
don't have a photo handy. We didn't think of that. Maybe Steve will
Oh,
gather that real quickly. When oh, there we go. Can you
uh,
give us a rundown for us
good.
drummer gearheads? Like
Oh, yeah.
I see two snares, two bass drums, 15
Yeah.
cymbals, a bunch of electronic stuff. Like, give us the scoop. What's up, man?
Okay. We'll start out in here. It's my DW kit that I started out building. Was the first was the maple cherry wrapped that we started with DW, and they brought in the design series and that beautiful cherry red, and I started out with that. Then I started adding all the design series acrylites. So in this room, you'll see a lot of my
Oh,
acrylites. So in here, you'll see a lot of.
acrylites are killer.
Well, they're actually called design acrylics, but they're like little Ludwigs, but they're the DWs, and they're
Yeah.
more affordable, but they're beautiful. They sound great, and then I trigger 'em with Roland, and I go through and I roll 'em through all my modules and my loop stations, and I put all those triggers on there, and then I write everything with my Roland keyboards, and with
Oh,
my
wow.
and then I write everything on there. It kind of like what Bosio does, where I just write and program everything, and then I play it, and then I do alternate beats, and I try to sing along the silly little lyric ideas, or have my wife play along, and she's doing the more elegant accompaniment arrangement, and then we can also sometimes, if we want, break away from tracks and play it more organically in certain aspects of shows if we play out live. And what we did on that DW is I added a bunch of Zildjian Ks and Wuhans in this room, got them all mic'd up with a bunch of cool Rode mics, a bunch of Zoom cameras, a bunch of Tascam mid-range price mics, some Sennheisers, uh, you know, some other MXLs. I have them all placed within the shelves of the kits and in the room where I mic certain reflection walls, certain delays in the halls and closets, and then pressure zone miking, and then several different consoles I use to pre-mix, pre-delay, get into my heads, and then run back through my loop stations, which are my Roland MC505 MK2s. I love them. They have all the pitch shifters in it. You can pre-record tracks as you're playing. You've seen loop artists do this where they play along and they. So what I'm
Right.
doing a lot of times is I'm recording what I'm playing as I play it. So
Right.
I'll trigger something, record it real time. So a lot of times, anytime someone sees me stream or sees me live, it could be exactly how I recorded it, or I want to remix it as I'm going, la di da di da di, and it could be a little kind of dorky and annoying to folks that get are used to more standard type music, but certain folks are attuned to it because it's entertaining and it takes them on a different dimension of time signatures and pitch shifting with drums.
Right.
Once you not and you know what I'm talking about. Once you record them with mics and then you start twisting that pitch live, you start getting those really aggressive. And if you
Yeah.
slower and you start slowing it, and all of a sudden and in the old days, you know how it was with us sampling, it took so much space. You get 3 minutes with your sampler and you had to break it up in little 30-second segments and then buy Seagate drives to go longer than that. Nowadays with loop stations, we are
Oh,
not we could do 100.
infinitum.
Yeah, we could do 300 on the big one and 100 on the little one. So
Right.
I've already got the little one, the 500, full of songs. And then the new one, the bigger one, it's you could do 500, 600 songs on it as
Right.
long as you want. So it doesn't count the time, it counts the number. So once you can think like that, it's infinite. And then you can always dump, reload, or just say, screw it. use the sampler and just keep remixing it with the
Ah,
loopers. So once you start using the SPX Pros, going back through it and then running all your triggers, I split everything into that too. So I'm not only doing that, I'm layering the triggers, and then I run it into a DTX Yamaha, then into Elisa's Bluetooth, and then every
wow.
every module I can use, not compensating the tone of the kit, but underneath that to give me the layers and textures to where it seems like I'm playing with so many
Well,
tenors, and it's just me.
yeah, there's two things that come to mind when I hear all that.
Yes, sir.
One, I need to up my game, and two, I have no idea what the f- you're talking about.
It's
No,
fun.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I know
I'm kidding.
exactly what I'm talking
No,
about.
it's really cool. What's really neat, and folks, if you don't know, David has an amazing setup. Like any drummer
Oh, yeah.
who plays prog or loves big kits or loves to geek out on gear, or even if you love playing on a four-piece, go to
Oh,
drumtalktvbrilliance.com, click
yeah.
on any one of our drumming challenges, and you'll see a really interesting overhead view of David's kit. And
Can I
what I
switch that on here for you and it shows you, or like I
yeah,
thought
go
it'll
go for it.
switch? Let me see if I can
Absolutely.
figure that out. Hold on.
Because as a gearhead, I find that fascinating. I love looking at your stuff, if
I
that makes
know.
sense.
Yeah, I know. It is for us that are dorks like that and tech heads, we can appreciate it. I don't try to always bore people and try to show off like, look what I'm doing. But for folks like us, some of us can't appreciate it because we either have wanted it, had it, or hell, I'll get it someday.
You
And
know what, though?
I would always like to see people strive to have better kids, bigger kids, or smaller kids that do more for them. And that's
Right.
something else I do. Like if I go, I'm trying to figure out how to switch it. I've got a switcher here. I've got all this stuff, but I go so blank when I'm trying. Y'all don't intimidate me. I freeze up. I don't know what it is. I like y'all. I watch y'all with Nico McBain, the cat from Genesis is not Phil. I mean, everyone that comes in there, I'm trying to watch without filibustering.
Yeah, and for those who don't know, this is the Geeking Out on Gear segment.
Yeah, yeah. So
But but aside from that, what did you win? Why are you here?
what was cool about it is y'all sent me a little. I was doing the competition for. We did Gavin Harrison challenge, and it's when he played with King Crimson. And so when we did that, it was cool because y'all placed me third on that. Y'all sent me the shirt and the little gift card. And even he started following me after that. I was like, whoa, now Gavin Harrison's following me? And I heard that they're actually getting back together and reforming, aren't they?
Yeah.
Are they?
And
So
you know
it's
what? Like
amazing because y'all sparked. I'm not saying I had anything to do it. Y'all are so cool for sparking that challenge because now they're reforming. And I think that's so unique and surreal in the aspect of, in the now. Instead of saying you were living in the past, it's so present right now. It's so prevalent that he is getting his band back together.
right.
What Bill Bruford did. I saw Bill Bruford with Yes when I was a kid.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
really? Wow.
Yeah, yeah. I saw the Roundabout tour here.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be around.
What wait. What were you like 4?
Uh, pretty close. I think I was 7,
Really?
maybe. Yeah,
Really?
yeah. It was. Yeah, at the Coliseum. One of my aunts took me,
If you
and
don't
it
mind me
was so
asking, wait, if you don't mind me asking,
great.
how old are you now?
Thanks for asking. I think I'm about 56.
Because that
I think
album
I'm
came out in
56.
71.
Yeah, and I even had the shirt. I mean, I even had my first show was shouting on Grand Funk. The Grand Funk, and I saw you had their drummer a while back.
Yeah.
That was one of my first tours I ever saw. But then, yes, I saw them. I guess they came back and did it in Houston again when they came back from Europe. They did it again like in 70 something. I know it came out in 71, but they came a few years later because I was a little older. I was born in 69. So it was a few years later at the Coliseum. But man, he was on that stage that would turn like, how Pierre always had the stage that would turn. Well, while they were doing that, his stage was going this way,
No,
and
so that
the
was
other stage was going the other way when I saw
right.
it.
So that must have been when Alan White was with them
I
in
saw him with Alan White
78.
another time too. I saw him with Alan White also, but I saw him with Bill Bruford playing with him 1 year. It was so weird. They did that
Oh,
record with him on it, or
it,
whatever it was. Him doing it live is what I meant. And
so
it freaked.
let's
Go ahead.
let's
Go ahead.
talk about influences. Who are some of your biggest influences on drumming?
Well, we
Oh,
all
wait,
know Billy
other than
Cowley
me. Other than me.
here. Oh, you of course. Neil Peart, Neil Peart. We also like a lot of. Man, I've been watching a lot of new drummers. I won't go down all their names. A lot of new ones I watch, but the old classics. When I started, of course, it was Neil. I saw 2112 in moving pictures. I saw 2112
Same.
on the side of the rails when he was playing with the long hair, the beard, the big kid, all the bells,
That's right.
all the Moogs, Alex Lifeson, Getty. I mean, they all were freaks, and it sounded so good. And then by the time I saw, Permanent Waves, moving pictures, I was like, dude, that's all I wanted to do was keep building big kits and trying to play as slow as possible with fast signal or, play slow but fast ride cymbals and wait
Yeah,
for the choruses. If you go watch him,
absolutely.
it's almost like you're anticipating it. If you see him live, it's different. It's
Good
almost
point.
like, man, I'm just waiting to feel that. As soon as he hits that crash, or he's just in that pocket on that ride, just nailing it. You know what I'm talking about. You've seen
Yeah.
it.
So
Did
let
you
me
ever
ask you,
did you ever get
who
to meet him?
who's your biggest drumming influence?
I would say Pierre and then Cobb.
And who's your
I
biggest
met I met Cobbin twice. I did clinics when I used to work in music stores when I was a kid.
Oh,
They
wow.
would come in, at one point before I taught in stores, I would set up in their departments for their, set up gear, mic it up, and do films for their clinics. And we would bring in, Bobby Rock, uh, what's his name? He just died, Dolph Amaro. Met him 3 times. I got pictures of me, him, and
Right.
Cobham with, when they used to give out the 8x10 glossies and sign them for you.
Yeah, I
Like
have
Chuck
some
Man.
still.
One time, Steve Gadd, twice, Dr. Steve Gadd 3 times, worked with him in two
Who did
clinics.
he play with? I'm not familiar.
Uh, which one? Which one? Oh, yeah, you know what I'm saying. When I went to do Steve Gadd's show, when I went to go set up, he was playing with Chuck Mangione. He was late for the load in. Guess who got to
Oh,
do the sound effect?
oh, wow.
Feels so good. I got to do sound checks, set up the damn Yamaha recording stage custom. This is when I was young enough to haul gear around and get paid for it. You know what I'm saying. But I set it up for him, and guess what? Mangione's down there at the Sambuca Jazz Club downtown.
Wow.
Hey, would you mind sitting in for me in the horn section just to get the levels right? So when the doctor gets here, he can just play. I said, no problem. Can I eat after we're done? He goes, go over there and get your steak. And I sat down, ate steak, watched him play, shook hands with the doctor, loaded up. He'd already bet me three. I know this motherfucker. He's done clinics with me with, in two different stores I worked in before that, when I was at Evans and then Guitar Center another time. And then another time he came in and I went and did backline for him. So that was 3 times I worked with Steve Gadd. And that's another,
Wow.
you watch him play. Oh man, you just sit there and watch him play for 2 or 3 hours. It's like, holy hell.
Oh, yeah. You
With
get
like
schooled.
Banjo or Steely
Totally
Dan.
get schooled.
Yeah, and
Right?
then of course Peter Erskine. I like Peter Erskine.
I don't like him. No, I'm
You
kidding.
know, I
I'm
like the way
kidding.
he plays. I like all the stuff he does. Not only all the
Yeah.
old bands, but the
Weather
soundtrack.
Report, Steely Dan Live. Yeah, that guy's a
Austin
master.
Powers soundtrack. Quincy
Oh,
Jones.
that's right.
Yeah. See, I've been writing a whole new story about Austin Powers called The Olympian. This is where Austin's called back in. He's been hiding out in America, become a stoner, loser, wino, looking like Jim Morrison in America. You got to come back to the old country, find
Yeah.
the missing gems for the heiress, recover them, and become an Olympian. So you have to learn every Olympic sport
Every note, right?
because there's the bad guys that stole the gems from the heiress are in the Olympics, and you got to figure out which ones are the bad guys and recover every jewel from them while you're doing the Olympics. So I already
Yeah.
started to write that as Austin Powers the Olympian. I even kind of let people know that I'm really serious about that movie. and I want to be like, here, Peter, you play the drum part I wrote, and let me teach people how to clap like Quincy. Can I be Quincy Jones in this movie, please? You play these parts I wrote. Go listen
So
to my song, The
let me
Olympian.
ask you a question.
It's on
Who
my record. Yes,
No, that's all great stuff. We love to learn about other people's
I'm
influence.
listening. I love Peter Erskine.
But who has come into your world in the last, let's say, 25 years that has piqued your interest? Again, other than me.
I played with a band called Spunk, and the drummer, singer, writer guy, Todd Waters, is a real good drummer that always hires better drummers than me in his band that he's trained to play his songs.
Oh,
So Todd Waters is one over probably the last 3 decades as a band member or record mate in different label aspects of records we've been on. That when I listen to what art he does musically or watching the videos and watching the music that he's written, his drummers that learn his parts are amazing. So yeah, that's another one. And he's friends with Bazio. He's all from that cut, that cloth. They're all friends. So yeah, he's one of those cats. He is just one of those cats, and it's so pristine and
oh,
knows how
wow.
to groove. He could play, he could do all that shit, anything from like Dead Boys to the Stones to as heavy as it gets, to some of the darkest, heaviest punk rock you can, or black metal. He's worked with all the black metal artists and makes all their clothing. He does all their design with his company that he makes clothing for and his music. And
Spunk.
then he does film work. He's done all kinds of special effects
So,
in films. He's a badass.
so
And
who
he's
are some
modest.
who are
He's
some
modest.
other bands from 2025 that have
I've been
caught your attention?
I've been listening to my friends in Smoke Charmer. I actually played a show with them a couple of months ago on September 27th up in North Texas, almost Oklahoma, in
Oh, wow, really?
Fort Worth. My good friend Steve Taylor actually played in Spunk years ago. We toured together, but his new band, he's played with folks in Super Joint Ritual, uh, Hog Leg, all these other. I could go on the list of all the bands he's played in. But his new band, Smoke Charmer,
Yeah.
well, they've been getting radio play everywhere, all over the country, all over
Oh,
the
wow.
world. They're
Tell
doing
me about them.
gigs.
Like, what's the genre? Like,
They're
if someone's into X, why would they like Smoke Charmer? Who would that be? Who would that
I
would
would
appeal
say
to?
I would say if you liked like Temple of the Dog, or if you liked something like with the guys in what are they called? Another band. They're not exactly like them. Kind of like Alice in Chains, but more
Oh,
progressive.
yeah.
The singer is way out there.
With
His
Stephen
guitar
Perkins on
playing,
drums.
Steven's on guitar, and his drummer Raul. This dude's incredible. We went and saw them play, and we opened for them in the second room in September. They were
Oh, wow.
already doing real good. I jumped on the gig because they were so. I was like, when someone's doing good, if you can't go see them, try to get on the gig with them. I said, if I can't open right in front of them, put me in the first slot before they even play, and then me and my wife pack everything up, put it in the Jeep, and sit till the end and watch them play. And they were so incredible. I put pictures up all over my page. They got real rock MTV style videos. I think I showed you that bread line. Did I
Yeah.
send you the videos? How great they are and how deep the lyrics go. Like I told you, sort of like Alice in Chains, but deeper. Because their singer, he has not only that range, but also sort of like Phil from Pantera, where he can also do that. He can not only do
Totally.
the singing, but then he can just rip your head off and then pull
Right.
back and kind of put you to sleep. So it's
Yeah.
real drony, but then it wakes you up like fuck. Then Steve can just slide the guitar. The drummer is just totally, and I mean his grooves are so, the nuances are so hard to follow. Like I tried to like play along with some of the shit when they first came out. I was like, you really have to listen to it. You just can't guess it like it's a pre-program or a loop. They've got
Right.
their nuances, their dynamics. They play together. You can tell they're friends. You can always tell by when you listen to music if they like each other or not. And see, I'm
You know what? That's a good point. You got to get along
yeah,
with the
with bands
people
like
you
that,
work with.
when you got
Yeah.
guitar players and singers and drummers working with you got to get along with. Like me, I'm a solo artist. My wife plays with me. We're a duo. But I've had people in my band, but I like to go watch bands play, and you can tell the ones that like each other, and it comes through in the music, comes through in the songs, it comes through in the give and take of the show, where they each have their spot. No one's mean mugging, no one's mad at
Right.
their crowd. They acknowledge, and when they acknowledge you for being there, not just as a fan, dude, I was your fan before I got on the bill. I hopped, I wasn't riding the shirt tails, but as quickly as I could get on the bill, I did it. And I mean, it's, a lot of people don't realize that if you can't support people that you either know or have done records with, you can't do anything because you got to think past yourself. What if I couldn't even play that night? I'd still want to go see them, right? And
Right. Right.
I would still
Exactly.
want to tell them your record is so great that in some of these signals and these videos you put up that, why would I deny the fact I not only know him, but I appreciate the fact that I have the chance to hear it first and see it blow up on different platforms. When your friends
Right.
do that and you see their songs in movies or in whatever it is, a niche
Yeah.
or whatever it
Wherever
is,
it appears. Yeah.
and it seems passe to some of our loved ones when they hear it too much. Oh, I don't care. You know what I mean? But for us folks that are really tied to appreciating your peers, you learn as you get older after several decades. I'm never jealous. I am proud of those who are still alive, kicking ass and taking names, and more successful, more successful than I could ever imagine. And
Right.
like I was saying, that new Marilyn Manson record. I went and saw that show at the Buzz Fest. Our local radio show has an annual festival. My wife got tickets for me and my son. They were not cheap, but we went to go see the Marilyn Manson show with Papa Roach and Sleep Theory and all those bands. And I'll tell you what, Marilyn Manson show has our old band that was Spunk. That guitar player is the bass player with Marilyn. So Matt Montgomery, Piggy D, we saw him up there playing with Marilyn Manson, tearing it up, looking like a pro, throwing his hair around, playing his bass like a motherfucker, looking cool as shit, singing
And
with it.
wait, and
And I've known him since he was a kid. You know what I
some of the
mean?
best eyeliner on
Oh
stage.
yeah. And he's got his own clothing line, his own record. He does
Yeah.
books and movies and horror shows and all kinds of shit that I can't even imagine to talk about. I'm so proud of those folks that I could never envy them or be jealous or stalk them, but always when there's a time to recognize people, you say, yeah, I may not be currently playing with all these folks, but I damn well appreciate them for giving me their time when needed or have come to me in other aspects over the decades. We're doing reunion shows, we're doing shows at Pittsburgh, whatever we were doing. And we always get together and we come through for each other, put our attitudes, our personal whatever
Right.
aside, and get on and rock for the fans. When you look out and you see people having fun, that's what it's at. The people that love music just as much as you and I do, those are the one where it's at. They like music. Fuck, we're all winning. They're buying a T-shirt and a record at the
Yeah.
show. I may not get the record today, but I'll order it on Amazon because I don't want to break it or melt it if I'm here for 5 hours. But I'll get a shirt. You know what I mean? And
Right.
then order the
Right.
record. And like I said, then order we got my Marilyn Manson record the week it came out. That's why I thought it was 2025 because by the time I got it, we were thinking this was going to be my new favorite record of the year, but because it didn't count as 2025, still one of my favorite records because my old singer from my old band is in this band, and I like Marilyn Manson too, and I like this girl playing guitar in here, this Reba Myers. My wife and kid and I saw her playing with him. Incredible girl. She's in Code Orange. If you've ever heard Code Orange, she did
Right.
soundtrack for one of those wrestlers. Her song. That band's even done that. That WWE SmackDown shit. They got theme songs on that. It's so
Oh, yeah.
cool. You don't realize it till you start being just go to the show, listen, see who's doing what, research it, follow them, and say, man, even if I'm not totally connected, at least I can relate and say, talk about folks, let them get, some recognition about they've either influenced you, helped with you, worked with you, and never deny where you come from. A lot of people say, oh, fuck them. That's not what I want to do. I hate that. Or fuck that. No, no, it's cool. It's totally different than what I do. My music's totally different than everyone, but I appreciate all my compadres. I appreciate all the folks that I've been on all these records with and done all
Right.
those shows with. And then when we redo it, or me and my wife redo a song, anytime I want to take a little idea from something and throw it into my, no one's ever bitching about it. No one ever says, man, you're ripping my song on. No one ever does that because they know
Right.
we all
Exactly.
appreciate each other's lessons learned from each other. And
You know what? That's the thing. In music, we should all learn from each other. And I
yeah,
think drummers, more than any other, and I might be wrong, probably not.
that Gil Sharon, he was so good on
Yeah.
drums.
But I mean,
I already told him we were going to be talking about him on here. I told Gil, I'm going to be mentioning you. I saw you on that DW kid tearing it up in Maryland, and I didn't realize it.
yeah, but drummers are, for the most part, the most communal,
yeah,
who share experiences, who share gear, who share techniques,
yeah.
and all that. So let me
Well,
ask you this.
remedies, quick
Let me ask
fixes,
you a couple
remedies.
questions.
Yes, sir.
Who's your, in a couple words, who's your number one influence on drums? Number one. Number one. One.
I
Who would that
had to,
be?
I had to say Pierre. I had to say Pierre.
Okay. Who's the last artist you saw in concert live?
The last one we saw live, what was that the other day we went to? We went to sub out here in the neighborhood and saw a whole festival. Oh, I went out and played at this show a couple of weeks ago. Smoke Charmers are what I saw. There was a big band, but a couple of weeks ago there was a girl named Sophie D and a kid named something, and it was in a song contest as I went to. That's just the last one I saw a couple of weeks ago. I guess before that it was Smoke Charmer. We saw them, and then there was that. What was the other band? Was,
Well, let me ask you this. Let me jump in. What's your number one favorite album of all time, that if you were stuck on an island, what would that album be that you would want to listen to over and over and over
well,
without getting?
I thought it was either going to be Warning, Billy Cobham, because it's new age and I like it. On an island, it would sound good.
Wow.
I
Okay.
always thought Warning if I was stuck on it, because I used to play new age and I remember seeing him and doing that clinic and going to the show. After going to the show, I was like, dude, I love it. I had the vinyl and everything. And
Yeah.
it's, Red Baron redone and all those songs. Remember Red Baron off, and they redid it on there too. And then what's the other one? The Spectrum off
Oh
Spectrum.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's so good. Oh man, and seeing him play live on the Why Not setup, you watch him play. He's got his kimono on. He's got his bandana. He does the setup.
Yeah.
He said, Davey, let me just show you something. He just puts the toms anywhere. And
I
he just,
did two documentaries with Billy on
oh
that.
man, he is so
Yeah.
incredible. He is
Yeah.
like I worked with him and Dom from Mario one time. It was a Tama clinic. Then Dom switched to Mapex. I worked
Yeah.
with Dom at Mapex. Then another time, Don came in and just did a clinic, and it was Mapex. It was when right before he died. It was one of that, and
Yeah.
we had to, we showed people how to clean the rim and everything before you put the head on. Came with the cloth, Don. I remember eating pizza with him. He's so cool, such a good guy, and he could talk more than me. And I learned from Willie Nelson and Don from Mario. They said, once you quit talking, you're dead.
Yeah.
That's what Willie Nelson told me and Dom. Like,
That's
hey,
right.
once you quit talking, you're dead. So, you always got to keep, so people know if you have problems breathing or you might not be as, some of us don't run around and do a lot of things a lot of people do because we do this. So
Right.
it takes a lot of our energy and a lot of our lung capacity. So as long as we learn how to take care of that and not let people destroy it, doing what they want, but we stay on focus, what we're doing, we can deliver to our fan base forever. even if we're not, achieving everyone's goal as high as they want it, you make a couple of fans happy, you'll wake up and remember it. And when you go see little cryptic messages within something somewhere and they make you feel so good about all that work you put into something, that is what's so good about music. If you stay with it, teaching, when I taught, nothing greater than seeing someone learn something they want. You help them do it and then watch them play it. I used to do that all the time. I used to love to watch people just want to learn something they had no idea and then show them how to do it. And then the next thing you know, they're up there rocking out and playing in bands and touring around the country. So many
Right.
young
Right.
folks and old folks that I've worked with, hundreds of them, that are
Yeah. Totally.
successful.
Totally.
And I don't go around exploiting folks because I helped them get there or taught them something. But there's so many that I'm so proud of the time that their folks and them spent practicing their drums to get to the next level to where they could get in that van or that bus and go play out of town, man. And a lot of people, they don't realize how cool it is for the drummer to feel that, that monitor in your ear, the front of house, and then the rollback when no one's there, and then when it fills up and the tightness of it. Once you learn that, man, it's so hard. People are like, "What is wrong with you?" I want to hear that rollback at sound check. Go back to the hotel and then come back and play. And it feels so good doing that, doesn't it? It really.
Right.
And
Oh
I
yeah.
tell you,
Absolutely.
if I do get to open for missing persons here they already approved us for the gig. If I can get out there, we'll come through your town. My wife and I will try to play outside of Phoenix, near closer to you, or maybe just come to your studio.
Oh, that'd be cool. We're like
Just do it.
100. We're 100 miles from Phoenix. In
Maybe
the
just come to your studio and we'll stream from there a live show and then go open for missing persons. Because we're trying to
possibly.
get out there. I got to pre-sell 40 tickets and get out there. That's all it is. And they'll pay me
Absolutely.
after
So
I
hey,
do that.
I wanna tell the fans that are watching to chime in to www.drumtalktvbrilliance.com so you can be a part of this. You can be a guest VJ. We're running a talent search contest right now. Not really a contest, but a talent search. We got so many things going on, but the only
Yes.
way you'll find out about it is to sign up at jumptalktvbrilliance.com with a free membership and you'll get all the emails. And there you go. Thanks, everybody. Thanks, David Seymour. Hang on the line with you for a moment after we
Yes,
say goodbye
sir.
to the audience. And
Thank you,
audience,
Daniel and Steven.
absolutely. Thank
Jump
you,
Talk
Stephen, producer
Television.
Stephen Shinder. Yes. Thank you, Jump Talk TV. Everybody that's watching and following, watching live on the archive. And we'll see you soon. Thanks, everybody.